Hello everyone. So our today's topic is all about CSS. Okay, so this is my first video for that. Okay, so here is the introduction part for CSS. First of all, in my first video, CSS is the language we use to style a web page. Okay, so what is the full form for CSS? It is cascading style sheets. Okay, it describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on a screen. Okay, it saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. Okay, and obviously we can have a different types of style sheet like external, internal, and inline. Okay, afterwards we will talk about that also. Why to use CSS? Okay, so it is used to define these styles for your web pages, which including like design, layout, and variation in display for different devices and different screen sizes. Okay, so CSS solved a big problem. So HTML was never intended to contain a tags for formatting a web page. That means HTML was created just to describe the content of your web page. Like we can use H1 for heading, we can use P for paragraph, and likewise we know so many tags. Okay, and when the tags like font and color attributes were added to the HTML 3.2 specification, it started a nightmare for web developers. The development of large website like where we can have 10 web pages or 20 web pages, okay, where font and color information were added to every single page, and it becomes a long and expensive process. Okay, so to solve this problem, W3C created what? CSS. CSS removed the style formatting from the HTML page. Next thing is a CSS rule consists of selector and a declaration block. Two things. Now, what is the meaning of selector first? Selector means you want to give your style shape to whom? Like H1, H2, H3, H4, paragraph, or you can say that bold, italic, underline. Like we know so many HTML text. So, exactly to whom you want to give your style shape. Okay. So, selector means you have to select your HTML element. Okay, then we can have curly brackets like this, and then closing also curly brackets, that is the declaration block. Inside that we can have obviously CSS property like for if you want to change your text color, then you can use color. If you want to use background image, then you can use background dash image, and likewise here also you all can see font dash size, so it will change the font size to particular value. Okay, so inside the curly bracket, this color and colon and the name of the color. Okay, so color is your property, and then after colon whatever is there, it is the value. So this is CSS property and this is CSS value, and once you are done with the one part, then semicolon, and if you want to add more, then after semicolon you can add second part. For example, you want to give font size also, you want to give background image also, background color also, so many things are possible. Okay, so between the curly brackets and after semicolon you can add, and this is nothing but what? Properties and what? Values. So three ways you can insert your style sheet. First is the external style sheet, then internal, and then what? Inline. First, we will talk about what is the meaning of this external CSS. So with the external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing just one file. Okay. Each HTML page must include a reference to your external style sheet file inside the link element, and that link element will be inside of head section. So we have obviously example with us. Okay, this we know HTML, then we know head section, and inside the head section you have to write link. Okay, link relevant. Okay, equal to, it is scripting or style sheet or what exactly. So you have to write style sheet, that is the first thing, which is fixed. And H reference indicates you are referring or linking to which .css file. So name of that file is my style dot what css. Okay, and then close of head section, and in the body whatever you want to write you can write, but right now just for understanding purpose we have only two things. One is h1 and one is what paragraph. So this is heading and this is what paragraph. So this is actually a one file. You can save this file with any name, for example demo.html, anything. Okay, then we will have one more file in this same folder, yes, correct. So this will be your demo.html file, but our second file will be, name will be mystyle.css. So that code is over here. So this will be your mystyle.css file, okay, where what exactly we want, body, that is selector, then curly bracket, that is the declaration block started, then we have a background dash color, that is the property, colon, and value is what, light blue, and semicolon, and if you are done then closing bracket. So you want to give background color to your body section, and you want to give text color and margin left to your h1 only. So whatever the style sheet part, you have to write separately in a separate file, that is mystyle.css. Okay, so at the end you will be having two files. One will be this one, that is demo.html, and one will be this one, which is mystyle.css. And obviously when you are done with your code and you want to check or you want to execute your code, then obviously you have to execute this demo.html file, not this css file. No, you have to open your html file only. So external style sheet will have two files. One that will be your html file, and compulsory it will have link, relevant, and h reference. And there will be one more file with the .css format. Then coming to the internal style sheet, that means you have only one file, that's it, yeah. And in that one file only we will have HTML code, that is this section, and we will have our style sheet code, that is this one. So both the things are now in only one file. Okay, so we'll start from here, like HTML head section, and then we have a style. So we are going to give style like this, start of style tag. Then we want to give style sheet to body. So body, open the bracket, background color, and if we are done then closing bracket. Then again we want to give style sheet to h1, then we will write h1 curly bracket and whatever you want to give, and then again closing bracket. And once you are done with your style sheet part, then close the style sheet part first, then you close your head section. So in internal style sheet we have both the things, that means style as well as your HTML content part in a one file only, no separate file. Okay, and then third one, which is inline style sheet. Okay, so basically inline style sheet is like again only one file, but when you are writing h1, when you are writing paragraph, when you are writing body, and at that time before you close this h1, before you close this paragraph, before you close this body section, before that if you are writing style, that is equal to sign and color blue and text align center, or whatever you want to write, it is totally on you. But during h1 if you are writing, then it is inline css. During paragraph if you are writing, then it is inline css. During body, suppose over here if I write style equal to, then it is inline css. So basically we have total three types of style sheets, like inline, then internal, and then what, external. With whichever style sheets you are comfortable, and obviously based on the project requirement you can use any one style sheets. Okay, next thing is, suppose you have a multiple style sheets. Okay, if suppose some properties have been defined for the same selector, okay, uh, but in a different style sheets, and the value from the last one read style sheet will be used. So basically what it means is, assume that you have an external style sheet. Okay, and in which we have given h1 and color navy. Then assume that you have internal style sheet also. Okay, and you have written h1 and now the color is what? Orange. So out of this two, they are going to execute which one? Okay, that is actually the question mark. So answer is in the next slide. If the internal style sheet is defined after the link to the external style sheet, then h1 element will be what? Orange. That means this is your head section. You are writing your external style sheet part first, okay, and then you are writing your internal style sheet part. So this will overwrite your external style sheet part, and you will find color what? Orange. Okay, and one more assumption. Suppose if you are writing internal style sheet part, okay, this one first, okay, and you are writing this first, and then you are linking with the external style sheet, then in that case it will be executed second one, not the first one. It will override. So here is the answer for that cascading order. What style will be used when there is more than one style specified for an HTML element? So all these styles in the page will be cascaded into a new virtual style sheet by the following rules, where number one has what? Highest priority. So first, if we go order wise, inline style sheet will have highest priority. Then either external and internal, it depends on the head section job, which we just checked. And then third one, which is the browser default. Okay, and this is the last part, CSS comments. Okay, CSS comments are not displayed in the browser, but they can help document your source code. CSS comments are used to explain the code and may help when you edit the source code at the later date. So how to use CSS comment? Okay, inside the style element, you can start with the forward slash and asterisk and ends with asterisk and again slash. So this is how you can use what? Comments. So this is all about the introduction to cascading style sheets. Now in my next video onwards, we will check each and everything like CSS background, CSS font, CSS text, border, margin, padding, and so many things. Okay, one by one. Okay, practically with example. Obviously, this was just like a theoretical introduction part. Thank you, everyone.